We are in the new year, boys. It's 2022. Football hasn't stopped. Well, unless, of course, you have a COVID outbreak, in which case, you shut down your training facility and you got to rearrange games and things like that. But, it's, normal Premier League stuff, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
This is Red Card Radio. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, whenever you're listening from. Thanks for tuning in. Red Card Radio is a weekly look at the Premier League from three friends who support different clubs. My name is James. I support Arsenal. With me tonight is Brad. He supports Chelsea. And Sean. He supports Tottenham. As always, gentlemen, how we doing?
Fantastic.
Yeah?
No way Sean's feeling as good.
I'm fine.
He's probably happy at this point. But yeah, all three of our teams were in action over the last week. So we do have some football to talk about that was pertaining to our teams, which is nice. I know there was a stretch there where Spurs were just on like a nice little winter break, putting their feet up at the pool, drinking some pina coladas in Dubai. So I'm glad that they're playing football again, ready to
get into Christmas, James.
Yeah, they went, took a break. I said they were in Dubai. So it's warm in Dubai right now.
Christmas in Dubai.
Why not? I'm sure it's nice.
Yeah, okay.
He's so mad right now. He's like,
it just doesn't.
I can't respond to this.
Nobody's going to Dubai.
We didn't play, but I can't respond to this.
They're roasting chestnuts by the fire.
Breaking the fourth wall a little bit, Brad. I don't think that he is upset about the result today. I think he's just more upset about the circumstances regarding when we started recording this podcast. I think that's more what he's annoyed about. But I digress. Loyal listeners, I really appreciate you guys tuning in. If you guys are new here, hit that subscribe button. Give us a like, give us a follow, all those things. Rate us 5 stars on Apple Podcasts if that's the platform you're listening to us on. If you're on YouTube and you have an iPhone, rate us 5 stars on Apple Podcasts anyway. Download iTunes, hit us with a 5-star on iTunes. We would really appreciate that. It helps us grow, helps us reach a new audience, pushes us up the sports board on iTunes. I think we're pretty close to actually getting to the top 200, which I think is interesting, according to Brad, who's our statistician on those types of things. But as always, leave us a comment. Do those things because we really appreciate it. It means a lot to us. We would love nothing more than to hear a new listener give us a comment, every week. So that's something that we really look forward to, is looking at those comments. So we would really appreciate if you do that. We wouldn't want anything to befall you or any kind of inconvenience to happen in your life. Right, Sean?
Yeah, because if you don't like, subscribe, rate, review, 5-star, then what may happen to you is your ice maker may have a slow leak. So when ice cubes come out, if you don't grab them in the first couple hours, you will have a solid block of ice in your ice tray at all times.
Wow.
God.
And then even the cubes you can get don't fit in your cup.
It sounds like a problem you're experiencing.
I'm familiar with the issue.
Did you delete your 5-star review on Apple Podcasts or something, bro? What's going on?
You should see the hunk of ice in the sink right now.
Oh man.
It's about the size of my monitor.
Well,
that's impressive.
That would be incredibly inconvenient. So you could probably avoid minor water leaks in your freezer by hitting us with that 5-star review and subscribing to this podcast. But we're going to move it on. So what we've got on offer for you all tonight, as always, we're going to hit up some comments. We had lots of comments this week. So we got a little bit of time we'll spend there. We'll talk about the end of match week 20, which was last midweek. We'll talk about the matches that happened in match week 21, which was this previous weekend. We've had one EFL Cup semifinal played. The other was scheduled to be played tomorrow. And then we may or may not talk a little bit about the transfer window as it pertains to our 3 clubs. We'll just play it by ear based on time before we look forward to the FA Cup. It's an FA Cup weekend, boys. We're back at the Cup. How does that? I'm really excited about that. I love the FA Cup. I don't know how you guys feel about it, but I love the FA Cup.
This is the kids' round. right? Like when there's semifinal or quarterfinal, that's when it gets exciting. But this is the kids round, which is fun because like you get to see the academy kids trot it out.
I hope you play the children and you guys get sloshed by Chesterfield. I hope that happens, Brad, for disrespecting the cup.
Says the one that doesn't want to talk about the EFL Cup.
I want to. What?
I don't know.
James refuses to talk about the EFL Cup.
Because, okay. There's a difference here between the EFL Cup and the FA Cup. The EFL Cup is I'll talk about the EFL Cup when it comes up. Okay, we'll get back to it. Sean, I'll let you.
We should be trotting out that 6'6" Peter Crouch with twists that we just recalled from Northampton Town. You see this kid? 6'6" skinny striker.
Dude, he's
like, okay, better be Peter Crouch because that's not going to be easy up in Premier League. Like, you better have some footwork, buddy.
I mean, to be fair, he'd probably nutmeg Harry Maguire, so he's probably okay.
Well, I think Jimmy could nutmeg Harry Maguire. So.
Speaking of Jimmy had some thoughts, boys. So, Brad, you asked for this last week. You asked for updated penalty statistics. Jorginho is now at 86%. James Milner is at 86%, though he does give you a caveat that Jorginho is up 2/10 of a point if he doesn't round. So your boy Jorginho did overtake Milner finally.
Thank you. That's all we needed here.
Jimmy does also want to bring up the fact that Chelsea have been awarded 7 penalties this year compared to West Ham United's 5, Arsenal's 4, Everton's 4, Leeds 4, City's 4, United's 3, and Liverpool's 3. So there might be a slight discrepancy in terms of the penalties that teams are receiving. His specific quote on this is, maybe Anthony Taylor actually prefers Chelsea and is only giving out cards to cover up all the penalties he's been handing out to them. #starting new conspiracies. What say you, Brad?
His conspiracies are wrong. So look, we're just going to take the 2 games that Chelsea and Liverpool have played. They've both been reffed by Anthony Taylor. Chelsea has 9 fouls. Liverpool has 26. Liverpool has 1 yellow, which should probably be a red card. Chelsea's picked up 3 yellows and a red.
My response to that is stop cheating. Learn to play football fairly.
That's astronomically. That's literally just less than half of the fouls were cards.
All I hear is all I hear is Liverpool know how to professionally foul, and Chelsea just go in like rambunctious monkeys.
What?
They just barrel in there like Eric Dyer is what I hear.
So Liverpool, Chelsea are full of Granit Xhakas and Eric Dyers.
Yes,
and
apparently that's what I'm hearing is that you got 9 fouls and you made all of them count.
Or Anthony Taylor just doesn't want Chelsea to win. It's fine.
That's entirely possible as well. Who knows?
Because we drew again. Look, Anthony Taylor's the ref, and we drew again. Our win percentage is below 50% when he is the referee. Still,
Jimmy has some thoughts on the Chelsea-Liverpool match, which I will get to when we talk to that game. I don't want to spoil that. But we had a conversation last week about fixture congestion. And Sean, it sounded like you were of the opinion last week that you're like, you don't think fixture congestion is that big of a deal. Everyone has to experience it. So just deal with it and move on. Is that kind of?
Yeah, that's the general outset of like, yeah, other places have a break and they're used to that. But like we it's not new in England. Like everyone deals with it every year.
Okay.
Like Klopp should know that before he even moved here.
All right. So Jimmy's comment on that specifically says the fixture congestion is not only a Klopp concern. Every manager in the top 6 club that competes in Europe consistently complains about this. Jimmy might be wrong about this, but I think England is the only country with 2 domestic tournaments that the top teams compete in. Germany does get a holiday break to rest, which is pretty great. He's not sure about the other leagues. He doesn't remember seeing Italian teams or Spanish teams playing over the winter break. He goes on to continue, says, I like Boxing Day, but why not have a break until the second week in January? So play Boxing Day and then have a 2-week break until the second week of January. It would go a long way to help player health and safety. And then he's going to talk about he might go into looking for injury statistics and compare those to other leagues, which he thinks would be an interesting stat. I generally agree with Jimmy that the Premier League could benefit from a winter break if you compare it to the other European leagues. Having the second cup does create some amount of fixture congestion, though there's not that much EFL Cup being played in this period. You could transition some other games elsewhere, is I guess the idea. But before I let you respond to that, Sean, Will also had a comment. He responded to Jimmy on YouTube. So I'm just going to go right into Will's comment real quick. Will says, because he does provide us some context, Italy does have a 2-week break. And he says that England not having a break fits in with England putting profits and marketing above players and teams. Another solution, if you want to have games every day and not have a full slate on Boxing Day, drop down the Boxing Day fixtures to 4 or 5 games, and you still get TV games every day without the absurd scheduling. He goes on to say Germany also has the advantage of only having 18 teams in the top flight. There have been calls to do that in Italy, but he doesn't see it happening, and he certainly doesn't see it happening in England.
That's 4 less games, right? If it's 18 teams as opposed to 20. My math wrong? Sean math.
Well, what he's saying is that they play less games.
Yeah. But they also don't for every top 6 club, right, or top 7 club now, you have European football on midweek. You have EFL Cup at the beginning of the year. Come this time, you start getting into the FA Cup games. There's always a midweek game. So I am all for winter break, and I think it also makes sense for the transfer window. You get that time to fix the squad, get players in without them having to play a game 2 days after putting on the jersey. They get some time to bake into there. So I think it improves everything. I'm for a 2-week break. I don't think you can do it around Boxing Day. I think Boxing Day still has to be a thing because Boxing Day is the English edition.
Sean, do you think the English football would benefit from a break?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a really good solution. What I'm saying is Klopp needs to shut up and complain to the right people. Like complaining to people holding a tape recorder in front of you while you're on camera doesn't help anything. Get your people up, get FSG in the offices of the FA and figure it out.
I would imagine that Liverpool, I would imagine that they are also going through the proper channels to have these conversations. I don't think that he's only talking to reporters about it. But at the same time, if the reporters ask you about fixture congestion, what are you going to do? I think it's an interesting idea. Well, so I'm going to back this up again. England was getting ready to implement a break. And the way it was going to work, it was going to be staggered. So they were going to have, and we did this one season, I think in 2019, in the winter of 2019. So the 2018-2019 season. So the year before COVID. So 10 teams would be off week A. And then the next week, 10 teams would be off week B. And I think it was actually around an international break or something like that. So it was staggered and it was in January. So each club would effectively get 2 weeks off somehow. I forget how the specifics work about it, but they did a staggered winter break. And so they were getting ready to implement that, in perpetuity. But then COVID hit and the schedule's been screwed since COVID because we had the COVID season and then we had the next season. Well, the next season, which had to get started a month after the FA Cup final, and then this season, which is we're in that season now. Where's that last?
Yeah, we're in the season after COVID. No, we're in the season after COVID.
Yeah, so we're in the season after COVID right now, and then next season is the World Cup season.
Yeah, there's literally no stop.
Yeah, so
maybe this summer has a small break, but not a big one.
I mean, I think that they're going to have to start the season August 1st. Anyway, we'll talk about, but so England was getting ready to implement a 2-week break. So, or to implement some form of a winter break for teams. So clearly it's something that England would value. I just think that they need to stop doing a game on Boxing. I love Boxing Day. Have all 10 teams play on Boxing Day. Screw the day after Boxing Day. Who cares? Stop playing a game 2 days later. We should never schedule a game 2 days later. Give at least 2 full days of rest for every team. And if you want to have games every day, then have 7 games on Boxing Day, 1 game the day after Boxing Day, 2 games the day after Boxing Day, or something like that. But give every team adequate rest. Stop this insanity of playing on the 26th and the 28th. Make sure that never happens. And I think people stop complaining. So, Will also has another comment for you, Sean. He says he doesn't really care about the Supercoppa in Italy, but he's really pulling for a win now after all the shit you were talking about Juve last week, having not won a trophy. It's kind of a throwaway comment.
He gave up on the league real quick.
I think they're only 12 points back right now, which is not insurmountable. In Italy, anything can happen, especially when we're talking about Juve as compared to like so Arsenal were 12 points back of City. Like that was probably not happening. It's certainly not happening now after City got a very lucky victory against Arsenal. But that probably wasn't happening. But in Italy, I feel like Juve are never out of it until they're like mathematically out of it. But he has.
I don't think you're stopping Milan.
There was some talk, boys, on comments on YouTube about. I'll just read it for you. Will says, "I wouldn't have guessed that so many people here follow chess. When's the RCR chess tournament?"
Let's do it.
Who wants to have a chess tournament?
Never played chess.
You ever played chess?
That's such a lie, Sean. That's the biggest lie. You never played chess well. You forgot. You missed a word on that sentence. Never played chess well.
So Will says, and Sean, if he beats you, he wants a Chiellini poster behind you on the wall.
Retired.
And Jimmy responded with, if we both beat Sean needs to blow a kiss to the poster. So this
I'm not putting any bets on my chess prowess. I can tell you that.
So here's what we're doing, listeners. We are going to start dropping our Discord link in our YouTube comments, and they'll go up with the podcast, the notes, the show notes. So our Discord link's going to be on there. I've created a channel in our Discord. You can come. It's called Chess. All right. So if you want to play chess, drop your chess.com, bio info in the chess Discord channel, and we'll start playing some chess. And maybe in a couple weeks we'll have a little tournament, a round robin tournament, have a Red Card Radio World Chess Championship, see who reigns supreme. Maybe we'll have to set up some ground rules on times and things like that. But yeah, let's do it. Red Card Radio people, let's do it. Let's play some chess.
I think the vote's passed. It's 2 votes, yay, 1 vote, maybe.
Well,
so
I've already
yes.
I've already created the chess channel in the Discord, so like it was happening.
Yeah, the tournament is happening.
I knew that you guys like to play chess, so there's a rumor that you and Brad, when you were roommates in college, would have a chess game always happening between you two.
Yeah,
there's a rumor. But yeah, those were the comments from this week, guys. That's what we had going on. So things to look forward to. Join our Discord and we'll play chess. But let's get into match week 20 and match week 21. What was played in the Premier League? We'll prime this all. I'll pull up the table so we can take a look at that. But yeah, so league table pretty unchanged basically. Week in, week out. City still on top. Chelsea are in second. Liverpool are in third, though they have a game in hand on Chelsea. Arsenal are in fourth, also have a game in hand on Chelsea and Manchester City. West Ham, same number of games played as Arsenal, in fifth. Tottenham are in sixth, though with their games in hand, they have 2 games in hand on Arsenal, and Liverpool 3 games in hand on City. So in theory, they could go 4 points clear of Arsenal for 4th place if they win all their games. But there's a super important North London derby coming up in 2 weeks, so we'll see what happens there. Manchester United are in 7th. Wolves are in 8th on 28 points. Brighton and Hove are in 9th. Leicester City are in 10th. Bottom half of the table, Crystal Palace stay even at 11th. They're on 23 points. Brentford in 12th on 23 points. Villa are in 13th on 22 points. 14th is Southampton. 15th is Everton. 16th is Leeds. And then we get down to the 4 teams that are probably fighting it out for relegation. We've got Watford currently in 17th position on 13 points. We've got Burnley are in 18th on 11 points. Newcastle are 19th on 11 points. And Norwich City are in 20th on 10 points. It kind of seems like those are the teams that are going to be duking it out for relegation. So if we just kind of, I'm going to throw some things at you. Newcastle and Norwich have the most games played out of those 4. They are on 19 games played. So both of them technically have 2 games in hand on the league. But if we compare them to their relegation rivals, Burnley have played the least number of games. They've only played 17 games so far, and Watford have only played 18 games so far. I don't know if that's a good thing for any of those teams because I'm just going to throw it out there. Those games are probably losses for them, but they are potential points that they could take and pick up. So that's kind of how the relegation situation looks now. Of course, Newcastle is kind of an outlier here because they're about to splash some money in January to get some players in so they can hopefully change their fortune.
They already did. They already got one in.
Yep, that's true. I was going to get to that.
Who'd they bring?
Trippier.
Your boy.
Oh.
That's not officially official yet, but he was in Newcastle doing
his medicals
and
things like that this morning. So
well, that's. It was also funny. I guess we'll get to it at some point, but it was also funny that earlier, I guess maybe on the weekend, I heard that Luca Digne wanted to go back to Champions League football. So he's not satisfied with being on the bench at Everton, and would like to go back to a PSG or a Lille or something like that. And then just today, I was listening to a Newcastle reporter that says there's a strong groundswell to get Luca Digne into Newcastle, and I was like, that's the opposite direction, brother. People went the wrong way.
Well, he saw championship.
Oh, he
saw champion was like, yes.
He got confused. Well, the thing about, and we'll talk about this here in a little bit when we talk about transfers, is that there are some interesting things that I think Newcastle could do with player contracts and the way that they structure contracts that make them an attractive option in both the short term and the long term, depending on whatever happens this season. So, but we'll talk about
those 2 signings. If they can get that immediately helps your team having 2 really good fullbacks.
I'm gonna throw two players out that I think Newcastle should go after as well. That would be inexpensive for them as well.
I guess we'll cover it when we get there, I guess.
But just to wrap up match week 20 now, just to kind of prime everyone, when we recorded last week, half of the games had been played. Now all of the games in match week 20 have been played. So the games that still needed to be played were Chelsea-Brighton. That's a 1-1 draw. Brentford hosting Manchester City. Manchester City won that game 1-0. Everton and Newcastle was postponed, and Manchester United were hosting Burnley. United get the 3-1 victory over Burnley. So that's the way that match week 20 ended. If we fast forward to match week 21, which was the weekend slate of games, Manchester City was coming to North London to face Arsenal. Arsenal lose that game 2-1. City win 2-1. Controversial game, I'll say the least. Leicester and Norwich was postponed. Watford hosting Spurs. Spurs get the 1-0 victory. Palace and West Ham United. Why are you shaking your head, Brad?
Spurs didn't deserve that dub, but we'll get to that.
Okay. Palace hosting West Ham. West Ham win 3-2. Brentford hosting Villa. Brentford win 2-1. Everton hosting Brighton. Brighton win 3-2. Leeds hosting Burnley. Leeds win 3-1. Southampton and Newcastle was postponed. Chelsea and Liverpool played to a 2-2 draw. at Stamford Bridge, and Wolves were away at Old Trafford, and they stole a victory, all 3 points at Old Trafford. Wolves heaping the pressure on Manchester United and Ralph Rangnick. That was not a very long new manager bounce for Manchester United. But I don't know where you guys want to. I don't know where you guys want to start with that slate of games. Is there anything that you? Yeah, go for it, Sean.
I got a bone to pick with Brad. Why didn't we deserve to win that game?
Well, if Watford wasn't in front of the goal, no, I wasn't going to say that. If Watford was not inept in front of goal, they had enough chances to win that game. Watford was all over the Spurs. Spurs were playing terribly.
Tell me this. Did you watch the game?
I watched the whole first half. I did not get to watch the second half. The first half, was absolutely terrible Tottenham football.
Let me run through the stats of all over Tottenham. Let me run through. Shots, 6-21, Tottenham. Shots on target, 4-9.
You fucked up, Brad.
Tottenham. Possession, 25% to 75%, Tottenham. Won't go on the passes. How about corners? 3-7. What is your definition of all over? Because I watched the game. Tottenham was battering them. It was amazing that none of those balls were going in.
I disagree. I think Watford played well enough for a draw.
What I will say,
Watford played well enough for a draw.
What I will say is shout out to Bachmann because he had the game of his life.
He had a few great saves. He had a couple of great saves. Yeah,
fighting for his life. When he got back into the locker room, he had to fist fight both of his center backs.
So I caught the tail end of this game. I forget what I was doing, but I turned it on, and holy crap, was that such a trash goal that they scored at the end. And the only reason I say it was a trash goal, I think that the Spurs played it well. It was a good free kick. It was a good header from Sanchez. But Watford didn't defend it in the slightest.
No one jumped.
No, all of their players were just standing on the ground. Like nobody challenged the ball. I was like, this is exactly encapsulates why Watford are 2 points safe right now from relegation. Like it perfectly exemplified why they're where they are. It's like in the 94th minute, this is how you're defending a free kick that's 20 yards from your goal. Like, come on.
I'm not disagreeing with any of that. I just took offense with Tottenham did not deserve the win. Yes, they did. They were
okay. Maybe I said that wrong. Watford deserved a point, though.
Okay, I'll give you
that.
Watford
deserved a point. Let me say it that way. Watford deserved the point.
That keeper was fighting for his life, man.
I think you need to be careful saying that if you only watch the first half. Because it sounds like Spurs turned the screws in the second half.
Oh, my God. No, the whole game.
Well, I didn't watch the game, so all I watched was the trash can defending in the last minute by Watford. So.
Well, at first, I just watched the extended highlights, and I was like, "This is all Spurs." Like there was a chance here or there for Watford, like it was, but I'm like, "Huh." And then, like, I actually watched the replay, and I'm like, "Holy mackerel!" We had probably out of those 9 shots on target, probably 5 of them were like, that's a goal. Oh my gosh, how did he get to that?
Sometimes you're watching a game and you're like, why does this keeper why is he having the game of his life against us? And like I think this happens to us more because we support a big club, and like, especially like when our team is playing well, it's like, okay, we expect to win every game. I know there have been seasons where I'm watching Arsenal, I'm just like, yeah, we're going to win. And then we come up against whoever and their keeper has 14 saves and Arsenal, like, it's a draw 0-0, and you're just like, this dude played out of his damn mind. Like next week he's gonna fumble 4 balls into his net. There's gonna be 6 own goals for this team. But today against Arsenal, or insert big team, it's like this dude played out of his mind. Like it happens sometimes. So like it's good that it's good for Spurs that they were able to find a winner.
Yeah. Well, two things. I said this earlier. It's a good win for Spurs because Spurs don't play well with the ball, and that's why it's only 1 goal, and it's a trash goal in the 94th minute. 75% possession should equate to a ton more goals. You're 100% correct.
Brad, 21 shots, 9 on target. What do you mean?
That's
Okay.
they're creating opportunities.
One in the net.
Sure.
Okay. Yeah,
But that's what I'm saying, though, is
that's
like
what I'm
75.
saying. Like what you're saying,
Okay,
it
but you're
does not
playing against a
equate.
championship squad. You should have 21 shots and 9 on goal.
Bradley.
You're not wrong.
Let's go back to when you guys just played Brentford about 2 weeks ago. 15 shots,
Brighton?
7 on goal. Good job. I guess you didn't have very good offense. You don't play well with possession, clearly, because you had 68% possession and you only had 7 shots
That's
on goal.
what
Brad.
we're
By
supposed
your
to do.
terms, that was bad offense, and you don't do well with possession.
That's what we're supposed to do. But Chelsea generally dominates possession. So you could look at any other game as well that we dominate possession. What? Tottenham doesn't. Tottenham is a counterattacking team. Am I wrong?
Just gave you the numbers.
Is Tottenham a counterattacking team? Yes or no?
Are you arguing with numbers?
Is Tottenham a counterattacking team? Yes or no?
Did the numbers say that they did well with the ball or not?
It said they didn't. 1 goal.
Can you not see the fact that they played good offense, but maybe the keeper had a good game?
Sure, but stats don't say that. Stats say that there was 9 shots and 1 goal.
So I think that you're arguing from a point of ignorance here, unfortunately. Now, if you had watched the match, like watch the entire match, watch the second half, and still have this opinion, I would be willing to entertain your argument here. But the issue is that since you didn't see the second half, like you can't like discount the stats at this point because that's all you have to go on, right? So I think your argument is that like this team is trash. 21 shots, 9 on target should equate to more goals. But as I just said, sometimes keepers are playing out of their mind.
Sure.
I'm inclined to believe that Spurs played well. And I think this is indicative of Spurs recently because they played well against Liverpool. What
happened today? But anyways, we'll get to that.
It's the League Cup, man. No one cares.
We'll get to that. That's a lie. We both put competitive teams out there.
I know you did.
Semi-competitive teams. We both put semi-competitive teams with injuries and COVID.
Bro, you guys both played iterations of your first 11. I was disappointed.
What?
Iterations of your first 11.
We changed formations.
Anyway.
Okay. Anyways.
Anyway. So I'm inclined to give you a yellow card there, Brad, and give the point to Sean. That's my let me grab my book real quick.
Oh, did you finally find your cards?
I found my cards.
Look at that.
Give Brad the yellow card. That's a bad argument.
1 year into the pod, he finally finds his yellow card and red card. For that, you're getting a red card.
Bro, I've had these cards for the longest amount of time.
I found what I wanted to find.
Okay,
Brad,
hit him with it, Sean.
This is the exclamation point on the numbers argument. And if you have anything after this, you need to go.
Light him up, bro.
Daniel Bachmann made 7 saves against Tottenham this afternoon. That is the most by a goalkeeper in the Premier League this season.
Saves can count from passes too. I got Sean to walk away. Yes. Yes. I got Sean to walk away from the mic. Yes.
But unfortunately for you, Brad, you don't know if they're like bullshit saves or real saves because you didn't see it.
That's true.
All right, we'll move on. I want to talk about Arsenal City. Can we talk about Arsenal City?
Yeah, that's rough.
Can we talk about Stuart Atwell?
Yeah.
What?
Can we talk about him?
Did he borrow Anthony Taylor's soul here?
Because this dude is trash. Arsenal might have played the best 90 minutes of football I've seen them play in a long time. I don't know if we were deservedly up a goal in the first half, but the goal we scored was great. It was well executed. It was fast. Saka took it really well. We also should have had a penalty in the first half that was not called. But whatever. We're up 1-0 at halftime. City got the softest, and I mean these, not the softest. They got a super soft penalty. And I think the reason why they got this penalty is because of the reputation that Granit Xhaka has, and that he is perceived to be a clumsy player, and it's unfair to him. I don't understand how the VAR ref goes back, and when you slow down that play, so the way it worked is like Xhaka's leg hit the City player. They like knee to knee. His leg was in front of him, but it was very minimal contact. And then the City player starts going over, and Xhaka's holding his shirt. So when you add those things together and you look at it in slow motion on replay, it looks like it's a foul. But if you watch it full time, like full speed in the moment, like it looks super soft. So is it unfortunate that Arsenal had a penalty that wasn't given that they should have gotten? And City get a super soft penalty that, if it's given, it's given, whatever. Yes. But to me, the most egregious situation was this Gabriel second yellow card situation. So Stuart Atwell gave him a yellow card for dissent. And then 2 minutes later gave him a second yellow card for a foul. According to Arsenal and according to Gabriel, his dissent was asking Atwell like where the foul was or something like that. Apparently he didn't curse at him. He didn't do any, like, apparently he was just like asking where the foul was. And then like on the very next play to give him another yellow card. So he gave him a super soft dissent yellow card and then gave him probably a deserved yellow card for a foul. It's just like, come on, like you want to talk about like having an impact on a game, like that had an impact on the game. And then Arsenal played defense really, really well for like the next 30 minutes. And City get a very, very fortunate, like the ball just ricochets to, I think it was Rodri, right? And he scores in the 94th minute. And it's just like heartbreak. Arsenal played well enough to win this game. If Martinelli scores the sitter in front of goal, when it was an open goal, like 10 seconds before Gabriel gets the second yellow card, Arsenal win that game.
I 1,000% agree on these takes. Like Arsenal were playing amazing against City. It was a great game for them. And yeah, Martinelli hits that goal and it's a completely different game. Hey, look, refs aren't supposed to be known. We should not know the refs' names.
We know all of their names.
We know all of their names because they all make themselves have an impact on the game when they don't need to.
Yeah.
You're going to get yelled at as a referee. If they're not swearing at you and there's not 10 of them around you, then why are you giving out yellow cards? The yellow was deserved. The yellow that was a red, the second yellow
was
100% deserved. Like there's no arguments about it. That foul was designed to be a yellow card. It stopped the break. But that first yellow was so soft.
Well, to be fair about the second yellow card, it's not like it was like a breakaway. Like Arsenal had defenders behind Gabriel. So like Arsenal were going to contain the attack. So it's not like it wasn't, I don't even think it was a professional foul. Like
I think it was.
I think it was clumsy. Like when you look at the way, yes, of course his arms go around him and that's what makes it look like a professional foul. But like the way that Gabriel Jesus takes it off his chest, I don't think Gabriel is expecting that. And so Jesus takes it off of his chest and puts it around him and he's just like, fuck. And like Gabriel's Jesus's hips and legs go into Gabriel's. And at that point, that's the foul. And then like he kind of wraps him up just to confirm the foul, I guess, or make sure he doesn't fall over. I don't fucking know. But I don't know, man. It's just like, it seemed to me like it fit the narrative for Arsenal to, I don't know, get red cards and things like that in important games. And like, I'm not upset necessarily that we lost to City. I'm more upset that we should have beaten City and it felt like it was taken away from us. Like that's the part that's most annoying to me.
Yeah, it wasn't decided by the players. It was decided by the ref again.
It's what it felt like.
Yeah.
It's what it felt like.
That's what happened. So you're 100% justified in those feelings.
would have made the title race more interesting.
Yes.
But unfortunately, Chelsea and Liverpool decided to play a 2-2 draw, which helps no one in the title race.
Except for the neutrals who like that first half, that game was awesome.
Yeah, it was exciting.
It was a very, very good game.
I mean, 4 goals in one half of football is certainly exciting. So a couple.
I got a question.
Yeah, Sean.
The hell is Everton doing?
Scrubbing it up.
Dude, Everton's doing Everton things, man.
Great. Like what are you doing?
Yo, I don't know, man. Like they're I had high expectations for Everton this year, to be completely honest. I thought that their team looked pretty decent, and then getting a legit manager who knows the Premier League well. I know that Carlo Ancelotti is a legit manager. But he jumped ship the first chance he got. Like Rafa Benitez, I think, knows the Premier League very well. I would argue maybe better than Ancelotti, in my opinion.
Hold on. He jumped ship at the first offer. Whoa. Okay.
I mean,
so like, would you like a Big Mac or would you like a filet mignon?
Yes, I get that Real Madrid are a much better opportunity than Everton Football Club. I'm not arguing that it's not, but
you made it sound like he just jumped ship for like Burnley. It's like, yeah, I'm out. I mean, he probably should have, because like, isn't he a Liverpool legend?
Rafa?
Yeah.
I mean, he won the Champions League with Liverpool and never won the league. But
right,
they had some. Yeah, Rafa had some good Liverpool sides. I mean, you have to if you win the Champions League. I think he won 2 Champions Leagues with Liverpool, if I'm not mistaken.
Right, like I know he's one of their legendary coaches. Or in
it was just 2005, right?
Didn't they win in 2009? I'm gonna Google it real quick. But where is his honors? Managerial. Liverpool.
Just 05.
05. Runners up in 06, 07. Got it. Okay. Anyway. Yeah, I don't know. Everton, I had higher expectations for Everton this season.
I think we all did. But they had the signing, like the best bang for buck signing yet with Demario Gray for like £1 billion, 1.2 million pounds.
He's been really good for them.
That kid is a baller.
I want to jump back to Liverpool and Chelsea real quick, because Jimmy had some thoughts about this. So there were a couple incidents. Well, one specific incident in this match. Sadio Mane elbowed Azpilicueta 5 seconds into the game. It's kind of a ball coming over the top, and Sadio Mane's elbow goes high, hits Azpilicueta in the face, and Sadio Mane gets a yellow card for this. VAR does not intervene. And so the yellow card stood. Jimmy's thoughts on this: Mane is probably lucky. 2 reasons why he thought he wasn't sent off. First, it's 5 seconds into the game. Second, he never looked back at Azpilicueta. He compares it to the Robertson and Ronaldo challenges from the previous week, and that challenges that were hard and overly aggressive.
Yeah, that was curious for Mane. I don't think I've ever seen him play like that, but it definitely visually looked on purpose.
Then he got the first goal. So that's a red, and Chelsea should have won this game.
Yeah.
He definitely went
It's a
that.
red. It shouldn't matter the clock. It's a red.
Yeah, I agree with you, Brad. A red card foul is a red card challenge is a red card challenge regardless of the time. I 100% agree with you. That's the same. It's my same opinion that like a foul that's a foul in the field of play, like outside of the penalty box, should still be a foul in the penalty box. Mm-hmm. But I think
they made that comment to your point. They made that comment in because you guys always say that Kane flops. In the Tottenham game, there was a point where Kane's kind of backing down, to use a basketball term, in the box, kind of figuring out if he wants to make a turn or make a pass out of it back to the defender and to the goal. And the guy has his arms around him like a bear hug, and he's like leaning into him, and then he starts to fall, and the guy's just holding. Kane's kind of just barely keeping his balance because the dude's controlling him.
Yeah, that should be a foul.
And then even the commentators were like, "Yeah, it's probably not going to get called in the box." And I was like, "What?"
Yeah,
because he didn't go down. They actually said that. They were like, if Kane goes to the ground there, he might get a foul. Like, why should it matter?
Yeah, it shouldn't. So That's his thoughts. Jimmy also thought Chelsea looked better than they had recently and arguably dropped 2 points more so than Liverpool did. Ultimately, his draw is bad for both teams. And after seeing the match and the Mane incident, he thinks a draw is an acceptable result for Liverpool, and Chelsea should be upset that you guys dropped 2 points. What are your thoughts on this, Brad?
I agree with him there, and I think that's saying something because like both teams are a little bit depleted from COVID and injuries. More so, Chelsea has a ton of injuries at the back half. So for us to come out and play this well, and Pulisic's goal was awesome. Kova's goal was amazing.
There's a funny picture of Kovacic's goal, and it's like two frames next to each other, and they're of different angles. And one is of like the Chelsea crowd, and there's just a dude like looking down at his cell phone.
I saw that.
Right as Kovac is just hitting the ball, and it's like, imagine being this guy and missing this goal, because it was a really good goal.
Yeah, both feet off the ground, volleying with like the ball's in the air and kicks it right back into the upper corner. It was a fantastic goal.
Yeah.
I'd argue Pulisic's was better though, with the control into the half volley into the top right hand corner. And then Mount had a chance late to get it over. You know, we're American boys, so we're all gonna cheer for Pooley. Like, that's just what it is. And then Mount had a chance to win it. There was a ton of chances to win it.
Both sides too, I think. Like, I watched the end of the game.
Mendy played out of his mind, had a couple of killer saves on Salah and another one on Mane. But again, if Mane's red is there, Liverpool score 1 goal, Chelsea score 2. Mane's not there to score the other goal.
Well, to be fair, that completely changes the complexion of the game.
True, but based on the stats, Mane's not there to score that goal. So, I think it is an unfair result.
They would have completely changed their tactic, because they would have had to play 90 minutes with 10 men. So they're not going to play the same way.
That's
you
true.
can argue that, yeah, but it's different losing a winger than a defender. You can still kind of keep most of your shape.
True, that's a fair point. Is
right?
That like it probably more impacts your attack than anything else, and you keeping your shape.
You're not taking an attacker off to bring on a defender because the defender got a red. You got your whole back line and your whole midfield. You just lost one attacker, and Salah and Jota can more than make up for Mane missing.
How do you feel about Mendy? Losing out on Mendy for
a month?
For AFCON.
For a month? You know what? That's why we got Kepa. Kepa redemption arc. I'm here for it.
This is the reason why you guys bought Kepa and then replaced him with Mendy a year later. It's for this moment.
Yes. For this moment for AFCON.
You have the world's most expensive goalkeeper by transfer valuation on your bench, and this is the moment. This is his moment to shine.
This is the Kepa redemption arc. I'm here for it. Hey, he's number 1 in penalty saves for Chelsea. So, you know, manager Kepa will handle the situation just fine for the month.
Are you including like penalty shootouts? Like, is that how you're getting that statistic?
That's
because he's the cup goalkeeper and he plays in the cups. And he has an inflated chance to save penalties.
He finally passed Czech this last penalty shootout.
Stupid. So dumb.
But the Kepa redemption arc, I'm here for it. It's a month. What is it? It's what we had. The only game I'm really terrified, because let's be real.
Terrified.
Kepa plays probably in EFL Cup, FA Cup, EFL Cup. City scares me.
He's a goalkeeper. He can play every single game.
No. Okay, but I'm saying if Mendy's here, he's probably playing in the EFL Cup or the FA Cup. He's probably playing in both of those. If he's playing in the FA Cup, because we might probably start our third.
This would be mind-boggling to me. Starting your third goalkeeper in the FA Cup, but having your second goalkeeper be the goalkeeper of the EFL Cup. He probably just based on the timing would play the EFL Cups. Mendy would play the FA Cup. That's probably just based on the timing. But then later in the FA Cup, Kepa would probably come back. Anyway, I digress. So City, did you have another game that you're worried about?
I'm not scared of Tottenham on the 23rd.
Okay, because
scared of City on the 15th.
They're only slated to miss 2 Premier League matches, the AFCON players.
And then we go to the Club World Cup And so we postponed the Arsenal match.
I think you guys postponed 2 games there, if I'm not mistaken.
Possibly. And then and if we win the semifinal, which we should, then we'll probably postpone the Crystal Palace match, and then he's back. Or then we're back for Champions League.
You guys are certainly going to win the Club World Cup. Like,
I think so. We should, but
UEFA,
there's been crazier things.
UEFA almost always wins the Club World Cup.
Last time we were in it, we lost it. So,
quickly, we'll talk about the EFL Cup. Chelsea beat Spurs 2-0 today.
I don't think we made enough fun of United because like United played terribly. Wolves should have won by more.
I didn't watch the game, so tell me.
Wolves should have. I didn't watch enough of the game myself.
That's why I was just moving on, bro.
But United played terribly.
Like, I'm all here for the United are trash memes. I'm all for it.
That's what we're here for.
I don't think that's all we're here for, but
that's mostly what we're here for.
It's a big majority of what we're here for.
Yeah.
It was a weird time for me. I have small children that need my attention. So
the Wolves won the Battle of the Portuguese. That's all I wanted to get in there. Now we can go into the EFL Cup.
Brad, you get 1 minute to talk about the EFL Cup. Because
Chelsea's utter dominance. Sean doesn't want to talk about it because Tanganga gifted us this dub. Like, there's no other way of putting it. We played really well. Havertz scores a goal with an injury, and then Ziyech puts in a cross, hits off of Tanganga, and then hits off of Davies and goes right in.
So, Brad,
fantastic game.
Are you going to celebrate if you win the EFL Cup?
Yeah, it's a trophy.
Okay, just checking.
Would you not celebrate when you win a trophy? We'd ask Sean, but it's been 13 years, 311 days.
It just feels to me that Chelsea are punching above the EFL Cup.
I agree.
I don't know if Arsenal are punching above the EFL Cup, but it seems like Chelsea are punching above the EFL Cup.
I don't disagree, but when you win a trophy, you celebrate.
Certainly.
Right?
I don't disagree.
And the EFL Cup is the top 4 leagues trophy. It's not the entire English pyramid. So I would argue the EFL Cup is more difficult to win.
Wow. Please don't make that argument ever again. Arsenal Liverpool has been postponed. Liverpool have a COVID outbreak.
So what does this mean for Gabriel's red? When is he suspended? So
in theory, as long as he's got 2 opportunities before the North London derby, he's got Saturday in the FA Cup or the first fixture in the EFL Cup on the 13th. If both of those games are postponed, I'm going to be flipping a table. Like, this would not be okay for Arsenal to do nothing wrong, have like we've done nothing wrong in this situation to be penalized for the North London derby. It would be supremely unfair, in my opinion. That would definitely be a COVID, a situation where COVID has impacted the legitimacy of the league, because Gabriel's our first choice center back, and missing him when for an important league match when we had 3 cup games scheduled beforehand and we couldn't play any of those cup games because of COVID would certainly be an injustice, in my opinion. Because
Gabriel can't play in the game, that's why the league is rigged. Not that Burnley has 4 games in hand. I'm not saying no European football.
We're talking.
I'm with you. I understand. I know what you're saying.
We're talking about like fairness and like the viability of like the integrity of the league is what I'm looking for, and like that to me speaks to like the integrity of the competition. Situations like that, situations specifically like that.
I think this season's integrity is worse than the COVID season of last year's season, like start and stop. Because we never know what games are going to be played. We don't even know what players are going to be playing because they're not doing the bubble. They're not able to do the bubble. Yeah, that's my opinion.
Are we really? It feels wasn't the COVID season? We're like, no, this is a full normal
No.
season. The COVID season
Yeah.
that was interrupted was 2 seasons ago.
No, it was
Yeah.
last season.
Liverpool won.
I was going to correct you. Liverpool won the COVID season. Manchester City won last year.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Sean, you're right. Brad's got us confused. Because the COVID season was 1920.
You're right. Yep.
Then we had 2021.
Yep.
Okay. I'm glad that we cleared that up because I felt like I was going crazy. I want to talk about transfers, but we're running low on time. Would you guys prefer to hold on to transfers until next week?
I mean, they might already happen, but
that's fine. That's fine. It's more.
I think it's fine.
Okay, we'll talk transfers next week, and we're going to carve out some time for transfers next week. Both like what we think would improve our teams and like what we want to see happen and things like that. So we're gonna look forward to the weekend. We got the FA Cup coming up. I believe, highlighted every.
Before we start.
Okay, before we start.
Because you guys know my running frustration. Where the hell can I find the FA Cup before I even go start looking?
It's on ESPN Plus.
Okay.
Yeah. So ESPN
everything.
Plus.
This cup's on this channel. Conference League's over here. You got to find it on a stupid channel on the internet. This cup's on Fox. This cup's on NBC. This cup's on ESPN. Get your shit together, Premier League, FA.
Yeah, so
soccer in general, can we just pick one thing?
One.
No, because everybody's got a different amount of money, and not everybody's got all of the money. Could you imagine how bad it would be? Think about it like this: if one streaming platform got the rights to every major league, how much do you think that subscription would cost? $30 a month, $50 a month,
$9.99.
Nah, it would not be $9.99. They knew that they were the only game in town. If they had all the 5 top European leagues, the Champions League, all of the major cup competitions, they'd be charging you an arm and a leg. That would be bad. Granted,
probably just as much as combining all the subscriptions of all the places I have to go now.
Nah. It's not.
Because right now I have to have cable, Peacock, and ESPN Plus. So how much is that?
I don't know how much your cable costs, but
probably.
Oh, and CBS. Hold on, you forgot Paramount because Champions. Oh, well, no, you're not in the Conference League anymore, so you can drop your Paramount subscription.
You're such a troll, Brad. All right, FA Cup, ESPN Plus this weekend. I believe that I've highlighted all of the Premier League teams here. I could be wrong. But on Friday, Manchester City travel to Swindon Town. On Saturday, we got Millwall is hosting Palace. West Brom, you guys remember them? West Brom are hosting Brighton and Hove. Leicester hosting Watford. Newcastle United are hosting Cambridge United. Swansea are hosting Southampton. Chelsea go to host Chesterfield. Hull City are hosting Everton. Liverpool are hosting Shrewsbury Town on Sunday. Spurs are hosting Morecambe. Wolves are hosting Sheffield United. West Ham United are hosting Leeds. Charlton are hosting Norwich. Nottingham Forest are hosting Arsenal. And United are hosting Villa. That seems like way more than Okay, that makes sense. It would have been 20 games, but there are some. I get it now. I was having a brain moment.
Big
there.
brain.
Yeah, I was having a Sean Math moment there. Any of those games stand out to you guys? Anything that you're looking forward to?
No.
I hate you guys so much. I think.
Yeah, I mean wait, how far up the pyramid is Cambridge?
I was going to say, you want a technical breakdown of Newcastle Cambridge?
No, I don't want a technical breakdown, but I want to who's excited for the FA Cup. I would be more excited for the FA Cup, but apparently our match against Nottingham Forest is going to get postponed because Nottingham Forest has a COVID outbreak.
I mean, Nottingham Forest is interesting. They're the first English team to win the Champions League or win the big European Cup or London team. So, I just looked it up. Cambridge is in League One, so Newcastle hasn't quite fallen that far yet.
I I would be more interested in the Norwich Arsenal game if it were played in an actual forest. That would be pretty cool.
That'd be fun. I'm here for it.
You guys are the worst.
Sheffield United have fallen off of a cliff. They're like 16th in the championship. I would say maybe Sheffield United, but Sheffield United's fallen off a cliff.
So
Hull Everton might be levels.
That's what I'm going. That's what I'm going. It's not levels, but Hull are sometimes a tough draw in the FA Cup. I don't remember the last time. I'm gonna have to Google this, but I don't remember the last time Hull City were.
They just got out of. They just went through whatchamacallit, where they almost lost their club. Yeah.
They were up.
They were in the Premier League.
16-17 or 15-16. It was.
It was 08-09. 08-09. They were in the Premier League.
I think the most recent was about 16-17.
They were fighting, but then they went to. I think that's when they went to administration almost.
14-15.
14-15. I knew it was middle teens. They were up.
Yeah.
And then West Brom, Brighton, because it would have been interesting, but Brighton's playing much, much better this year. I think they're up to 8th down on the table.
Yeah.
I guess we say Leicester, Watford, or United, Villa. Like those got to be the two that we have to say.
West Ham United, Leeds, I think could be interesting. Charlton Norwich could be interesting.
Leeds is interesting if they're healthy, but they're still missing their two biggest players.
They got bounced hard out of the FA Cup last season because Bielsa didn't really understand the importance of the FA Cup, and he played a huge reserve team, and they got slapped in the third round. So I don't think Bielsa makes that mistake this year. Or maybe he didn't not understand the importance of the FA Cup, but he didn't value it. He just assumed maybe.
That's a tough draw to pull West Ham though.
Right? Yeah, especially with the way West Ham are playing this season. But West Ham are going to have to rotate players because they don't have a super deep squad. So that's why I'm saying that that could be an interesting match. Leeds don't have a whole lot to play for in the Premier League, so why not try and put your chips in the
they also don't have a ton of players right now. I think they have 4 or 5 injuries, especially they're two. Yeah. Well, no, Rafinha is their most attacking player, but Bamford makes that offense run up front, and then you're missing Calvin Phillips. Calvin Phillips had an awesome Euros and was coming in there and then got hurt. So
that is true. They are missing.
He's back. He played on the weekend.
But they are missing players. They're missing players.
Yeah, he played this weekend.
And they won 3-1.
Yeah. Any games been postponed? Not that I can tell. Yeah.
He wasn't on the bench, bro.
He played.
Just look, Calvin Phillips did not play.
I watched the game. He took a penalty. What are you talking about? He missed a penalty in the game.
Calvin Phillips for Leeds United.
Yeah. Oh no. Never mind. Calvert-Lewin. It was who I was thinking of.
He missed the penalty, and that's Everton.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes, Leeds and Everton, the same club.
No, I just was hearing Calvin, and it was yeah.
You got confused.
How far apart are Leeds and Everton? Confusing. Let's get some geography here.
No, I'm not confusing where they're from. I'm confusing names.
Though that would be a normal mistake you make. All right. I think that's all we got.
Yeah. Okay.
So if you're still listening, which I really appreciate first and foremost that you are, and you haven't hit that subscribe button, we really would appreciate if you would drop us a comment. Tell us what you think about tonight's episode whenever you're listening to it. Tell us if your team is playing in the FA Cup, what you're looking forward to. Tell us, give us some transfer talk. Joel, I would love to hear if you're listening to this, what's going on with Newcastle, what you would like to see Newcastle do in the transfer window. Let us know what you want your team to do in the transfer window. We would love to hear about that and be able to talk about it next week. But yeah, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Give us a follow. Share this episode with a friend. We would love nothing more than to have a new listener this week. Yeah, that's all we got tonight, guys. As always, you can hit us up on Twitter. That's at KSBradG. It's Brad. You can talk to him, send him memes. Down below that, Sean, he's at whiteheart_. Sean, I am at James, Tiffany, and we collectively are at redcard_radio. Hit us up on Twitter, leave us a YouTube comment, and we will talk about it next week. But until that time, you guys have a good evening, and we will talk to you all next time. Good night.